love, but love goes beyond seeing. It is I who constantly request to gaze upon the dazzling forms of the Lord. How envious I am of others who rest their eyes daily on the Lord's beautiful forms. I want to speak words of love, but love goes beyond hearing a response from one's beloved. I request daily just to hear one soft word of encouragement. Just once, to hear a sweet note from your flute, or just to hear the tinkling of your ankle bell. And when my desires are not fulfilled, I become very morose. I want to speak words of love, but love goes beyond tactical experiences. Sometimes I think, why don't you just touch me, especially during those hours when I feel lonely and forsaken, so that I can always remember that you are with me. I may not be qualified for a touch or an embrace, so at least give me a good slap or kick to chastise me from my mental anguish. But when neither of my desires is fulfilled, I become even more morose. I want to speak words of love, but love goes far beyond all personal stimulation. Your pure devotees inform us that serving you is the higher taste and that it is easy to give up the lower taste. But all I experience is the familiar taste of my anxieties and attachments. As my request for the higher taste is not fulfilled, I become very morose. I want to speak words of love, but love goes far beyond any conditional response. I want this nose to just smell one of the flower garlands you wear, or just to once breathe in the aroma associated with your presence. Surely this will enthuse me for unlimited determination. But when my desires are not fulfilled, I become morose. Yes, as usual, I want to speak words of love, but love goes far beyond feelings of pain and comfort. I naturally go all out of my way to see to my comfort, and I try to avoid pain like someone trying to avoid a poisonous snake. When there is too much pain and discomfort in my services to you, I become very morose. I want to speak words of love, but love goes far beyond doubts of the beloved. When things are under my control, I feel positive and very faithful. But when I do not have such control of a situation, I doubt your mercy and care for me. When I do this, I feel more morose. I want to speak words of love, but love goes far beyond fear. When all of my desires are before me, and I wait and wait for them to be fulfilled as and when I feel necessary, then when they are not, I fear every aspect of existence itself. This definitely makes me feel extremely morose. In the past, I remember hearing about a very special servant who would play a very melodious flute for his master every day. The boy loved to see and hear his master's expressions of joy as the lovely music played. The boy later lost his sight and then his hearing. He was no longer aware of his master's reciprocation. Nevertheless, he continued playing even more enthusiastically, just for his master's pleasure. This boy was not limited to trying to see, hear, or feel the flute. He was simply satisfied in knowing that his master was pleased. Before I talk more of love, I must enter the mood of this special servant. Otherwise, I will remain morose, far from those pure lovers of the divine couple. I remain begging to become a true lover, one who does not demand reciprocation.
Okay. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutalisnati. 𝐁𝐡𝐚𝐤𝐭𝐢 Namaste Krishna. Padaya Prabhupada Siddhamesi Gaura Karana Sakti Bhakti Tirtha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutalisnati BDDSwami. Namaste Saraswati Devi. Gaura Vani Pracharya Nirvisesa Sanya Vaji Pastata Desatani. Om Gyana Simrandasya Gyana Janasala Chakshulam Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sabitam Janaputra. Swayam Rupa Kadamahim Bhavati Swapadam. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Paramacharya. Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaur. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Welcome all of you to today's meditation on Beggar, unconditional love. It is very good. It is very good for us to be very kind to all the devotees. But the truth is that when we wait for devotees who are coming late, we are cheating the devotees who come early. It means that we recognize those who are doing the wrong thing and those who are doing the right thing. Those who come early means they don't have anything to do. They are not so important. They should come and wait for those the big ones. So come later. But if someone has some services somewhere that is busy with it, that's a different thing. But it shouldn't be something which is irregular that people should wait for. So I think that even if you get 3 people, you can start. Then those who are coming later, they can join and continue from wherever they reach. In that way, we plan to be early next time. So we are looking at this meditation, unconditional love. And Gurudev is explaining the qualification or the quality that makes that unconditional. The first thing is what? I want to speak words of love, but love goes beyond seeing. Unconditional love doesn't mean I have to see the person I'm dealing with before I can share my love with. If you really love somebody, even if the person is not present, you can bring the person present in your mind's eye. In your mind's eye, the mind's eye, you can always see the person, always in the mind's eye, not only physically. That is the reason why people say out of sight is not act of mind. But generally, that is actually for pure devotees. Generally, for conditioned souls, act of sight is act of mind. Only for serious devotees that they can think of Krishna 24 hours. Either if physically present or physically present, they will see everything completely. So it shouldn't, our love should not depend on anything material. That if I don't see you, don't exist for me. That is not a conditional love. We should always have our beloved present with us always. That is pure love. It is I who constantly request to gaze upon the dazzling forms of the Lord. How envious I am of others who raise their eyes daily on the Lord's beautiful forms. That's cannot be unconditional life again, because we are contaminating the transcendental flow of love that goes between Krishna and Krishna devotees. For example, I may be envying a person who is a pure devotee of Krishna, because a person who is constantly seeing Krishna is a pure devotee. So if I'm envying that person, then I am closing my own way of being noticed, appreciated, or helped by the person. It's better to understand this principle, so we can always, instead of envying the person, we can appreciate the person, and that will make us a better devotee or help us to achieve our goal easily. I want to speak word of love, but love goes beyond hearing a response from one who loves. Yes, we get angry if we don't get a response from somebody we love. We want the reciprocation. The idea of reciprocation comes in, but that is a business according to Krishna explanation. When the gopis were dancing with Krishna and Krishna disappeared. So the gopis were seriously anxiety looking for him here. When they finally got Krishna, they made a very nice seat for Krishna and told him they want to ask him a question. Krishna was ready for the question. So the gopis said, we have 3 questions for you, and we want to get it very clear. Out of the 3, we want to see which one you belong. It is a lover who reciprocate exactly the amount of love you show to the person. You give the person a book, you give you a book. Give the person a pencil, you give a pencil. Give the person a person, you give a person. Whatever you offer, the person will give it back to you. Is that the kind of lover you are? Krishna said, no, I'm not. The gopis, in their intention was, we will ask Krishna these questions, and in the process of answering us the question, Krishna will implicate himself and will chastise it. Because the chastisement in the gopis is nectar. It is sweeter than the Vedas personify, chanting Krishna glory with perfect meter. But philosophically, the gopis wanted to get Krishna to admit that he is not reciprocating properly. Say, we chastise him. So they say, Lord Krishna, so if you are not that kind of lover, the second person we know is that whatever this lover, if you love him or you love her, whatever you offer to him, whatever you offer to him, he will not respond. He will accept whatever you will, he accept, but he will never respond. So it is like one-sided love. So are you this kind of a lover? Krishna said, no, I'm not. I'm not. Because that is the first one. Krishna said that person is a business person. There's no love between them. The second person, Krishna said that's a cheater. Said there's nothing. They only take it, will not give it, which is not the principle of love. The principle of love, of unconditional, doesn't require taking. It's only giving. So we try to give to each other. So here the gopis say, but there's a lover who always takes. Everything you offer, he accepts, he's very happy with it, but he don't respond. Are you that kind of lover? Krishna said, no, I'm not. And then the gopi said, okay, the last one will surely catch you. So Krishna said, which one? The third one, the gopi said, there is another lover. If he loves him, if he doesn't love him, if you glorify him, he doesn't glorify him. Whatever you do, he doesn't care. Those who speak very good about him, treat them the same. Those who speak bad about him, you treat them the same. Whatever you do, he is all the same to all. He's just equal to all like that. So are you that one? Krishna said, no, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not at all. I am different. I am different. I deal with everybody in a very transcendental way. So I'm not that kind of a person. So that's what is there for unconditional transcendental love. You know, just if what we want to hear about the person or the person want to hear about us, it is not limited to that. It goes beyond that. I request daily just to hear one soft word of encouragement. Just once to hear a sweet note from your flute, or just to hear the tinkle of your ankle bells. And when my desires are not fulfilled, I become very morose. If it is a true love, it will not come to that level. It will never come to that. If it is true love, it will always increase the feelings. It will increase the love. Whatever happens, it will increase the love. I want to speak word of love, but the love goes beyond tactile experiences. It's not just the entertainment of our senses. It's not just about our gratification. Sometimes I think, why don't you touch me? Especially during those hours when I feel lonely and forsaken, so that I can always remember that you are with me. I may not be qualified for a touch or an embrace, but at least give me a good slap or a kick to chastise me for my mental anguish. But when neither of these desires is fulfilled, I become even more morose. Yes, to be morose is a sign. That is the sign, that is the signal that we don't have unconditional love. Because there is a demand here. There is a demand. Unconditional love does not require any demand. The definition our child has gave as a pure unconditional love is that in any place, this transcendental unconditional love is the two people who are having this unconditional transcendental love for each other, even when there is 100% reason for cutting off, that does not take place. That is transcendental love. That is pure love. It is unconditional. There are so many reasons to cut off the relationship, but that becomes nectar. So much so that one does not think of giving up. Instead, it increases the love for each other. That is unconditional translation. Then one does not become, one becomes even more eager, eager for it. I want to speak words of love, but the love goes far beyond all personal stimulation. The pure devotees inform us that serving you is a higher taste, and that it is easy to give up the lower taste. But all I experience is a similar taste of my anxieties and attachments, as my request for the higher taste is not fulfilled. I become very morose. I want to speak a word of love, but love goes far beyond any conditional response. I want this nose to just smell one of the lower garlands, the flower garlands, to wear or just to one breath in the aroma associated with your presence. Surely this will enthuse me with unlimited determination. But when my desires are not fulfilled, I become morose. That is the sign that we don't have unconditional. We are expecting, we are demanding, we are requesting. We are looking for something that if I get it, then I'll consider you important. I should get it, then I'll consider it important. But the unconditional love does not require that. It doesn't demand for that. It is a transcendental situation that it flows without any material affinity. There's no material affinity. There's no material strings. Everything is on a transcendental level. It's sweet dealing. It's actually not a dealings on a bodily platform. It's a spiritual dealing, soul to soul. So when we hear about transcendental, unconditional love, we should understand it is soul to soul activities, not body to body activities. It will make one morose, but the soul to soul relationship makes one always fulfilled, always sweet, always expecting the next. One will not become morose by that. Yes, as usual, I want to speak words of love, but love goes far beyond feelings of pain and comfort. I naturally go out of my way to seek for my comfort, and I try to avoid pain like someone trying to avoid a poisonous snake. When there is too much pain and discomfort in my services to you, I become very morose. And it is not service, it is not unconditional service, it is a conditional service. When we have a conditions, if the situation is favorable for me, then I will do this. That is not unconditional, it is conditional. So everything depends on, yes, if I get this, then I'll do this. Or I'm doing this to get this, and if I don't get it, I become morose. Morose means that we are selfish, we are simply trying to use the other person for our own gratification. That is what's happening in the material world. Two empty people come together. The two empty people, they come together. I'm empty, you are empty. I want to use you to fill my gap. You want to use me to fill their gap. But because both of us are empty, we're all looking for something, we'll never get satisfied. Then moroseness comes, we become morose. And the result is that what begins in the name of love becomes a disaster. It ends with hate. So transcendental, unconditional love does not depend on distance. That is a smooth transcendental flow that come what may, good or bad, I must do the service. When people are doing marriage, that is a language. For better or for worse. For better or for worse. Whatever condition, whatever happens, I'll be with you. That's unconditional love. whatever the condition. Someone said, when I got married to my husband, he was having many mansions, many enterprises. He was very, very handsome, beautiful with standing, and I get mesmerized when people also envy me for having this person as my husband, as my boyfriend, my wife. I enjoy when I see people envy me because of the handsomeness, the beauty of my wife, of my husband. But now he had an accident and he has lost one eye. So this is not about my husband. He's not my husband. My husband was having beautiful lotus eyes. But now one eye is lost. So this cannot be my husband again. I have to look for another person who has lotus eyes complete. That is material life. That is material. That is how things works in the material world. Nothing works perfectly in the material world. Everything depends on something. If I get this, then I'll do this. If I don't get this, I'll not do that. So conditional, I agree using the word unconditional love. The title is unconditional. It doesn't depend on anything material. There is no condition. There's no string attached. It has a free flow. That is unconditional. So for us to develop this, we're going to be teaching that we should avoid all these things, all these mentalities to begin with. We have to create or maintain a favorable consciousness that will be able to facilitate our progress towards and developing this unconditional love that is necessary for our liberation from material existence, for our having a direct relationship with Krishna. Yes. I want to speak words of love, but love goes far beyond doubt the beloved. Doubt of the beloved. Have doubt. Does he keep some other women? Is he associating with other women? I look at his page. He's hiding himself from me. And one day I managed to get it and I saw, other boys, the other girls he was dealing with. And then they divorce. Huh? This is, it's not that doing that is correct. It's not correct. It is cheating. It is cheating. That is cheating. It's not correct. And at the same time, if that happened, that shouldn't be the reason for us to cut off. It shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. It's our husband, it's our husband, it should remain there. It's your husband. We should understand, well, this is my fortune that I have a cheating husband. It should remain there. The Ravana has so many wives. Mandodari did not divorce. She didn't run away. We should try to understand. We're not saying that is good. It is not good, it's wrong. But if it does happen, because we have a very heavy, terrible background. Many people have a very terrible, heavy, dangerous background. And coming to Christian consciousness, it is really a punishment. For some of us, taking to Christian consciousness is really punishment because of our heavy karmic background that we have, which is completely opposed Bhakti. But if somehow or other, some people like this come to Christian consciousness, what will we do? Especially 𝐾𝐚𝐤𝐿. This is expected. This is expected. You understand? No doubt. We should not have any doubt. Of course, it doesn't mean that we should not check and see if our friend, our husband or wife is doing something wrong that we can correct. No, it doesn't mean that. We should check. We should correct it and say no. Don't. So encourage the person. So the person will see the reason and change. If the person will change by our behavior, how we respond to negative situation or negative dealings of people, they are going to change by how we behave towards them. We have discussed before, if you remember, we mentioned to us before. How do we transform hate? It's not by hating the person. It is by lovingly helping that person, showing that person, yes, I know you are weak here, but I'm ready to support you to get free from this. The person will be shocked, not by hatred, not by tit for tat. Do like this, I'll do like that. And you're like this, okay, I'll do like this. You don't sleep in the house, I'll not sleep in the house. Yeah, we will suffer like anything. So we should understand these things so that we know how to conduct ourselves nicely. When things are under my control, I feel positive and very faithful. But when I do not have such control of the situation, I don't have, I doubt your mercy and care for me. This is not good. I want to speak word of love, but love goes far beyond doubt of the beloved. When things are under my control, I feel positive and very faithful. So what will happen? What will happen when things do not go the way we want? We are not going to be positive and you're not going to be faithful. It means what? That we are also very, very weak. We are very, very weak. We don't have a strong foundation, that we are affected by people's nonsense instead of people's positiveness. It is a sign of our own weakness, not just the person. So we should be up and down, up and win. In all situations. But when I do not have such control of a situation, I doubt your mercy and care for me. When I do this, I feel more morose. Yes, that is how it will come. I want to speak word of love, but the love goes far beyond fear. Yes. And imagine how our life is that we're constantly living in fear with somebody and the person we're going to spend the whole of our life with. So we're going to live a life of fear throughout our life. What kind of life is that? It's already here. That is already here. I want to speak word of love, but the love goes beyond fear. When all of my desires are before me, and I wait and wait for them to be fulfilled, and when I feel necessary, then when they are not, I feel every aspect of existence. This definitely makes me feel extremely morose. We are not the controller, and because we are not the controller, there is nothing in our hands. Nature is controlling everything or direct everything. Better to do what is right by depending on what the scripture teaches, what the church teaches, and mold our life in such a way that we can move on happily in all situations. That is unconditional. I remember hearing about a very special servant who will play a very melodious flute for his master every day. The boy loves to see and hear his master's expressions of joy as the lovely music played. The boy later lost his sight and then his hearing. He was no longer aware of his master's reciprocation. Nevertheless, he continued playing even more enthusiastically just for his master's pleasure. This is unconditional love. This is what is expected. That in all circumstances, you will have to remain doing our part. We should remain doing our part. We should not be influenced by negative. If we are going to be influenced, if we are going to follow, we should not follow the wrong path. We should follow the right path. We should always follow what is wonderful, what is good, not the right path. So this is a perfect example of this boy should be followed. This is what we should consider, because this is the unconditional love, the pattern for unconditional love, the process for unconditional love. Unconditional love. By following this, then we'll get that level, we'll get to that stage. Unconditional love be developed by following this. This boy was not limited to trying to see, trying to hear, or trying to feel the fruit. He was simply satisfied in knowing that his master was pleased. It's unconditional. This is the unconditional. Before I talk more of love, I must enter the world of this special servant. Otherwise, I will remain morose, far from those pure lovers of the divine couple. I remain begging to become a true lover, one who does not demand reciprocation, but simply do what is my own part. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. Thank you for the explanation. Srila Gurudev, we are moving to the second part of the session today, where we are giving a chance to the devotees for asking the questions. The first question is from Mukulji Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. Please accept my humble obeisances unto the dust of the lotus feet. All goes to Srila Prabhupada, all goes to Srila Bhakti BDDSwami Maharaj. Maharaj, it happens that any of our god brother or any devotee does something which is against rules, scriptures, and against the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. And because of our affection and love towards them, if we try to rectify them, they got offended. And if we don't stop them, they are going to commit Vaishnava Aparadha in front of us. So Maharaj, my question is, what to do in this type of situation? Should we stop them or should we keep quiet in this situation?
Better to offend them by telling them what they're doing is wrong. Because we have done the right thing. So whatever price we have to pay for helping people, that should be appreciated. In fact, we should regret for not doing the right thing. And we shouldn't regret for doing the right thing. We should regret doing the right thing, even if the result doesn't come as we expected. The principle of trying to help people is that we must be ready to suffer. If we are not ready to suffer, we can never help somebody. We can never help somebody. What was the offense Jesus the Christ committed? He's trying to preach Christian because he's trying to help people. That was his offense. What was the offense of Prahlad Maharaj? He's trying to preach Krishna consciousness, and that was his offense, that he passed through so many tribulations from his own father. What was the offense of Haridas? He's trying to preach Bhakti, want to help people to become devotees. That was his offense. So that is a good offense that we should all learn to commit. And we should be happy with it, not feeling bad about it. So if you're not ready to suffer, we cannot help you. Therefore, it is better for us to tell people the right thing, even though they're going to get offended, instead of leaving them, and the situation will become very, very dangerous, both for the person and for everyone. All right.
Thank you so much, Srila Gurudev.
Yes, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare
Please
Krishna.
accept my question. Maharaj, you were telling in one of the slides that when someone is hating, you sow love, don't hate. But Maharaj, most of the times in material world, while dealing with the people, especially in my office, initially when I joined the office, I used to show love and compassion with them. But I found that the peoples are not reciprocating in a proper way. They were disrespecting me through their words. And after a few days after staying in office, when I saw that my colleagues are using harsh word before the other people, on that time the other peoples are respecting them. So on that time I thought that I should use harsh word in order to make them learn and in order to make them do the things and to gain the respect. So now how to implement this?
No, that is wrong. That is wrong. That is wrong. We should maintain your own standard. Just maintain your standard. You should not be influenced by their own low standards. You should maintain your high standards. Just do the right thing and don't worry about what people will say or do. Because we are going to give account of the things we do, not the things other people are doing. So we should maintain doing the right thing. Always. Even if they don't respond the way we want, it's okay. That is their own part. Their part should not influence us. Except if they are on a higher level, then we are right. But if they're on the wrong platform, we should not be influenced by that. Being influenced by that means that we have our foundation is not strong. So now you have to stand on your feet and do the right thing. And don't worry about this reciprocation. Do your part, and Krishna will help you for that. Let them do their own part. That is their own. They should do their own. They will get the result. You do your own, you get the result. I think there's a sage who had gone to the river with his disciples. And then he saw a bee. The bee was drowning inside the water. So he put his hand in the water and brought the bee with the water to but the bee sting. So he threw it back inside the water. So the disciples were watching him. After a while, he did the same thing again. And the bee stung again, he dropped it. He did it for some time, and finally he took the bee and threw it out of the water to save the bee. So the disciples said, Master, but what is it you are doing? You want to save the bee, but he is disturbing you. He has stung you many times, and you continue to do that. What is that? Can you just forget this? The master said, well, my duty is to try to bring the bee out, and the bee duty is to sting. So if I'm affected by the bee's nature and they don't do my duty, then I'm a fool. I have failed in my own duty. So I did my part by doing what I did, and the bee also will do its part. That is how we should live our life. Follow what is right. We'll be happy, we're satisfied. Actually, in the beginning, when we start doing something in the beginning, nobody is going to encourage you. Everybody will push you from all corners. But that is very good, because it is good because that will help to know where you belong. If you are sure of what you want to do or you are not sure, it will tell at that time. So Krishna wants to show where you belong. When we maintain that till the end, then people who were abusing you, disrespecting and so kinds of things, they are the ones who will start to worship you.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Next,
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Dandut Pranam. Hare Krishna. How are you, Maharaj?
Very good.
Yeah, nice to see you again. Thank you very much. Maharaj, this topic is it's very difficult topic for me because because the subject is very like it's not an easy subject, and since we are a practicing devotee, I don't know what stage I am in right now. So how do I identify that what stage I am in? Is basically that I have no love for Krishna right now. Actually, it's just I'm doing my duty only, just following the rounds, attending the class and all that. So I don't know that love is increasing or it's unconditional, or how do I identify that? I don't know actually anything about that.
Yes. As a practitioner, we are all trying to do our duty. Our qualification is to continue to do our duty. Even if you don't see the tangible result or difference, we should do our duty. Just do our duty. Just faithfully following the instruction of our authorities. There is progress. There is progress. Eventually, we will start seeing the results. So let us just continue to follow authorities. We will get there. That is required. And then if you really want to see how we are progressing, then we look at this, look at the scriptures and look at our life. Look at our scriptures, then we look at our life. Bhagavad Gita said, one who is free from envy, who does not consider himself as a proprietor. Okay, so these are the, so we look at that. Am I envious? Am I a proprietor? Am I free? So this is how we this is how we get to know. Look at the qualities. One who is a friend to all others. Am I friendly to others, or do I have groups? This is how we check. There's a long list. Bhagavad Gita 12, chapter 12, text 13 and 14. So you can go through that. It's a mirror. Look at that and check. 12, 13, 14. Look at it very carefully. That's how we know where we are. And then as we are chanting Hare Krishna mantra every day, see, Hare is Srimati Radharani, and Krishna is Krishna himself. When you say Hare Krishna, you are calling Radha and Krishna. So when you call someone's name, what is the next thing that comes to your mind?
It's the reciprocate actually. Then when I say they reciprocate, okay, they heard me actually.
When you call somebody, what is the next thing that comes to the mind? What should naturally come to the mind when you call somebody?
Their form.
The form, yes. The form, that person form comes to mind. So when we say Hare Krishna, what are we supposed to see? Radha and Krishna. So why some of us doesn't say that? It means we don't have love for them. So, okay, I don't have love for Krishna. That means my japa is not strong. Therefore, I should intensify the quality of my japa so I can have that. This is how we learn. Right?
Yes.
Yes. One who is not envious but a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor, and he is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. So, okay, am I equal to all? Take a look at that. What is my dealing with others? So look at that. Am I equal to happiness and distress? Or when something good comes, yeah, life. When something happens, somebody says something wrong tomorrow, so who is the person to talk to me like this? I should never see this person again in my life. So this is how we check and see where we are in our Christian consciousness. All right?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Dhanava Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Very happy to be a part of this class. So very grateful to you. Wonderful class, Maharaj. Maharaj, I have a question that how do we understand that whomsoever we are trying to please is getting pleased? Let's say we are not having, we are not able to, let's say the blind and deaf boy. Earlier he was recognizing, okay, the master is giving some input, so master is pleased. But when he is not able to sense anything, then how he will be able to know? He'll get a reciprocation in his heart, or how it will be like? I want to get some clear idea.
Yes, the reciprocation is there in the heart. Sudha Goswami mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. What is this? That verse. Hai puti apoti hatta de jatma suprasidati. Jatma suprasidati. Atma suprasidati. The heart will become satisfied. That is 127. The heart becomes satisfied. When all of us here have experience that when you do something good, you feel happy, even without somebody telling you. There's reciprocation brings the natural happiness to you. And when we do something wrong, we also know we don't feel happy. But naturally, you don't even need somebody to come and tell you, oh, the word nonsense. That will come later. But you yourself in your mind, you know, I did something wrong. You don't feel happy about it. When we make Krishna happy with our devotional service, unconditional dealings, we feel happy, we feel satisfied. Even though we don't see Krishna yet, but the reciprocation is there internally. We feel happy with it. I will feel encouraged to continue. One of the signs that we are making progress in Krishna consciousness is that we never think of giving up Krishna consciousness. We don't think of giving it up. Even though we are not the best, but we never think of giving it up. The desire to give it up doesn't occur in mind. We just want to go on. Just want to go on. That's a sign that the progress is there. So we should be satisfied with that. When we start to think, oh, maybe I should live here, or this is not the best thing for me, that's another thing, then we're not making progress. It means we're making a lot of offenses. And Krishna is showing it to us so that we can get rectified. But if we are so caught up with the illusion, we won't be able to see that. And then we'll continue until we get up. That should not happen to all of us. We should always remain in Krishna consciousness, good or bad. Just remain. Don't give it up. That is not my recommendation. It's a recommendation of Bhakti. Bhakti Saraswati Thakur. His friend Bhakti Tamara, he was giving class one day in US, and in the class he was crying. He was crying. On the asana, he was crying. So the devotee asked him why he was crying. Looking at all of you sitting here, many of you here are thinking of giving up Krishna consciousness. That is giving pain. Most of you are sitting here, we are constantly thinking how to live, want to give up. That's very, very dangerous life. It means you are very, very wicked. You don't want to help yourself. You don't want to help their family members who are suffering in hell. That is wickedness. So no devotee should ever think of that. And Bhakti Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he said, Even if you think Krishna consciousness is full of danger, it's full of disrespect, insecurity, full of this, full of that, don't give it up. So stay there. Why are they giving this? Because all those things we feel is the illusion of our mind. That's our mind. And for those who knows, they know that it's a mind. And in due course of time, by continuously engaging ourselves in Christian consciousness, those two will be destroyed. Then we'll see the truth, we'll see the reality. I'll be happy that we remain. So they're encouraging us, stay there, don't go anywhere. Stay in Christian consciousness. Next.
Hey Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisance at your lotus feet. My obeisance to the devotees. Gurudev, so I have one question. True lover never demands a reciprocation. Is praying for protection or facilities for service demanding a reciprocation? And then there have another question also. So,
what's the first one?
The first one is that true love never demands reciprocation.
Yes.
So is praying for protection or praying for the capacity to serve, is that demanding reciprocation?
No, that is not. That's natural. We should pray like that. I should fix my Christian consciousness, do myself very nicely. Christian, please protect my devotion. Christian, please protect my devotion, protect my service. That is correct.
Okay,
I want to serve with the best of my ability, with the best of my life. Everything about me should be for service. I'm existing so I can serve. Should beg and pray for that.
So Gurudev, what is the reciprocation that we should not be asking them? Like, is that like in a material way then, right?
Reciprocation is that the demand. There is no reciprocation of love.
Yes, sir. Yes, Gurudev. Like, true love doesn't demand reciprocation. So what is the reciprocation that we should not be demanding?
I should not ask you if you don't give me a car, I won't love you again. Go.
Okay.
Go. I'll look for somebody else who can do that for me.
But we can ask for reciprocations that encourage us to love.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, Gurudev. I have another question, which is of slightly, it's at a platform that I cannot even dream of, but I'm still daring to ask you. So Gurudev, you said that pure unconditional love means that even when there is 100% reason to break it, it doesn't break. And we came back from Krishna and we are trying to get Krishna Prem. Now, that means that we have a relationship that is unbreakable. The only problem is that I have forgotten it. So Krishna is remembering it and he's feeling that love. Is that like, and that will create so much torture for him waiting for us. So I was just contemplating on this from his side. Like, we are trying to get this love, but he already has this love. So what is the condition there?
Yeah, the love is already there, it's just that it's covered by illusion.
But Gurudev, for Krishna, like,
for us, not for Krishna.
He's always feeling it for us.
Yes. So he wants us to come back very, very soon. He wants us to come back. Actually, we are denying the enjoyment, the pleasure we're supposed to give to him. We are denying him of that by staying here in the material world, which is very offensive. It's very offensive to do like that. We should go and give it to him, not waste time here. So that's selfishness. That is why we are suffering. We have a serious chastisement because we are denying Krishna of this. It's enjoyment. It's wrong. It's wrong. Very, very dangerous for us to do this. That's why the punishment is very severe where you suffer like anything. Everything is very complicated, very, very complicated in a mature way. Because of this serious offense, I'm very together about deny him of what is his right from us. So Krishna feel very happy when we turn back to him. Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Okay, Gurudev, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Sanjay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my obeisances at your feet.
Thank you.
Can you speak a little bit more about, you mentioned that as soon as you take a very high standard of living by your own ideals, then in the beginning there may be a lot of opposition and aggression and anger from the side of many other people. Later on it will be appreciated. So, and
Yes.
it's so easy to become distracted by what other people think about us in everyday life. So maybe you can speak about that kind of struggle to rise above that, and also like, why is it worth it, basically? Maybe you can elaborate a little bit.
Yes. Lord Krishna is very, very kind that he knows all the garbages in our consciousness. He knows that. And he also knows exactly what we needed to get to trash out all this unnecessary things. Krishna knows all that. So when we take to Krishna consciousness, he will bring all the necessity we need to pass through. He'll bring them before. So you never see someone doing something, anything good, that it goes very easily from it, and you never see that. See Prabhupada himself, how many times he was sick in the sea, he said, even the last one he was telling Krishna, oh, if I won't be able to survive the last one. So he's not suffering from his sins. He's not suffering from his sin. But that the duty he has to perform, he has to rise to, he has to get that qualification, he has to get that equipment set. And to get that, it requires a heavy amount of sacrifice. So we want to become a devotee, want to become a pure devotee. We need all the requirement. The requirement is very, very expensive. Very expensive, not cheap. So we talk to Krishna consciousness, all the unnecessary things like fourth canto, eighth canto, by what I'm taught about the churning of the ocean. This is what is going on in our life. The churning, we are bringing out all the poisons. All the poisons are coming out. They will not come out easily. They are going to come in a hard way like that. So many people, they are going to do so many things for us. So many things. Even if you look at pure devotee, you see they pass through the same thing. Srivas Thakura. The atheists blaspheme him every day. Let us remove this Srivas with all these people. Let's remove his house completely and don't throw everything to Ganga. Until Srivas is out of this village, we are not going to have anything good in this village. Just see the way they're thinking. As far as Srivas is here, we're not going to get anything good. In fact, Lord Narayan is going to be very angry with us because they are constantly disturbing him. But they are loud, crying. So God is not there in the heart that they have to shout before he will understand, before he will hear. This is what they do. Even to 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐤𝐭𝐢 Mahaprabhu himself, there was, Nimai Pandit, the Kazi is concerned about their Tirtha, and he's going to come and arrest you. 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐤𝐭𝐢 Mahaprabhu said, okay, right from childhood, I've been studying the scriptures. I studied the scriptures extensively. I got everything. But people see me as a child, as a small boy. Nobody comes to me. So if the king is coming, that's okay. That's okay. It's foolish people that say, hey, Nimai, he is not a philosopher. He is not coming to hear your philosophy. He is coming to arrest you. So we are advising you for your own good. Give up this culture and this thing you are doing. Just become a peaceful person. Sit down under a tree and speculate. Thank you. Thank you. This is what you get. It is necessary. It is necessary for us to face all these things. They are not palatable, but we should know that even the people who are doing this thing to us, they are simply the instrument, not the cause. So we will be considered fortunate if you can see it like this, and don't attack them for anything. Don't leave them to continue what they are not supposed to continue with our own Krishna consciousness. This is what is expected from the beginning. From outside, they will attack us. From inside, the God brothers, God sisters, they're going to say so many things, they're going to do so many things. There will be so many terrible situations that will really challenge our faith in Krishna consciousness. That is very good for a devotee who is making advancement. That is very good. Because that is the way to get free from all the unnecessary things which are there in our life. That is demarcating us from Krishna. So we should learn how to tolerate that. And eventually, as we continue to patiently follow, that's why Rupa Goswami used the word, we should be patient. He told us to be patient because of these things. They are meant for our purification. So when we follow them with a good heart, we'll become free eventually. And that is our liberation. Make sense? All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Srila Gurudev, for this enlightening class today. I'm pretty sure every one of us, our hearts are filled with a lot of ecstasy after hearing this class from you today. There were many points that many of us really liked a lot, right from the beginning till the end, when you explained about 3 different kinds of lovers that gopis mentioned to Krishna, when you were explaining about how we should have unconditional love and we should not be having conditional love. When you explained that in this material world, when 2 empty people come together to fill themselves in the name of love, but what they end up is hate. And there were so many points till the end. This class is a most memorable class for all of us, Srila Gurudev, and we are all very, very grateful to you for explaining this words of nectar to us. Thank you very much, Srila Gurudev, from our hearts. And we would want to hear again and again from you every weekend, if possible, every day. Thank you so much, Srila Gurudev.
Hare Krishna.
His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj ki. His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj ki. Prabhupada ki.
Ora Bhakta Vrinda ki.
Thank you very much, Srila Gurudev.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Srila Gurudev.